Welcome, this is Dredius with the first rebuild that I'm doing in Madden 23 outside of the Miami Dolphins franchise mode. Of course, what is a quick and dirty rebuild? It basically is a one episode rebuild of a team where I lead them to a Super Bowl as quickly as possible. I want to dedicate this to the 50 subscribers that I currently have. It's sort of a 50 subscriber special, if you want to put it that way. I went for the Indianapolis Colts this time around. Why did I do that? Well, firstly, because I've never touched them in any way, shape, or form, neither in a franchise nor in a rebuild or something like that. Not in Madden 19, 20, 21, or now 22 or 23. So I'm going to be covering the Indianapolis Colts now. First reason is that I've never covered them. Second reason is I'm going to use the horseshoe as a symbol of luck. I feel super lucky and having 50 of you guys subscribing to my channel, listening to what I'm saying, watching me play, just, I don't know, watching the content, laughing at whatever I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just super happy and super grateful for that. Couldn't have imagined hitting 50 when I started the channel actively creating content back in April. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. Thanks so much. And not really much more to add to that. I'm using the symbol of the lucky horseshoe sort of for good luck in the future. And well, apart from that, the Colts are an interesting team to take care of. They've got Matt Ryan as the quarterback since Carson Wentz left for the Washington Commanders. They've got Nick Foles in there, Super Bowl hero from the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got Sam Ehlinger, and they've got Jack Cohn in there, a rookie from the draft now. So the quarterback situation is a pretty weird one, to be honest. Matt Ryan has got, I think he does have a quite long contract, actually. Let me just take a quick look here. It's a 2-year deal, but quite hefty on the pricey side with a 35.2 mil in 2023. They're going for sort of a Matt Stafford thing here, but yeah, whatever. The halfbacks, Jonathan Taylor, certainly a very, very good one. He's a superstar X-Factor, 23 years old, 95 overall, freight train. So the running game will be pretty good in this rebuild. They've got Nyheim Hines as the second halfback. Philip Lindsay is also in there. Tyson Williams, CJ Verdell, Devontae Price, Deion Jackson. I'm using the preseason roster here, so the cuts have not happened yet. No fullbacks in the squad. Wide receiver core pretty big. A lot of guys in there. The top names are Michael Pittman Jr., Paris Campbell, Keke Kuti, of course, Ashton Dulin, Alec Pierce out of the latest draft. And then it's DeMichael Harris, Desmond Patman, Michael Strachan, and Samson Naku, another rookie. I think there'll be quite a few cuts in here. Tight end Mo Alley Cox, 75, 28 years old. Jelani Woods, a rookie. So this is definitely a group of players where a rebuild will have to happen. There's no way around that. The offensive line is woeful on the left-hand side, left tackle position. Bernard Reimann is in there. This is a super fun fact. He's the only Austrian from the NFL draft. He was at the College of Central Michigan, played football there, and was then drafted by the Colts. Me being Austrian, I actually enjoyed this quite a lot, so I'm happy to sort of have Bernard Reimann in my team now at left tackle. Of course, he has so much that needs improving here. He does have a good strength rating. I was looking at that before. So strength is good, lead block, impact blocking. That's pretty good, actually. The rest still needs a lot of work, but I do think that we can work with him for the future. Left guard Quentin Nelson, one of the best left guards in the game. He's number 1 ranked left guard at the moment, so that is great. The left guard position very well set. Jason Spriggs behind him. Center Ryan Kelly, I would say very serviceable center at 82. Wesley French, a rookie, not even a face right there. Danny Pinter, 65 overall right guard. Will Freeze behind him. Right tackle Braden Smith. Also looks like a solid choice at 26 years old. Dennis Kelly behind him. So the offensive line is absolutely woeful. The quarterback is old. The wide receiver room is not well developed. The tight end is bad. So this is just not the best team to really go into the next season, but it's a perfect team for a rebuild. Left edge, Tyquan Lewis looks like a solid choice right there. Then we've got Ode Nigbo, and then sort of backup players also in there that have good core attributes, partly, but partly not. So we'll have to take a look there, how we handle that. Yannick Ngakoue, of course, a bit better right edge here. He's a very solid player behind a Kwity Paye, who's 23 years old, 77 overall already. So I do think that we can have a nice dynamic here. DeForest Buckner at D-tackle, of course, fantastic player, superstar X Factor, 91 overall, 4th ranked D-tackle in the game. Behind him, Grover Stewart. So these two very, very good choices. And then things drop off pretty quickly. And there's a lot of cutting material, practice squad material, so on and so forth. Left outside linebacker, Darius Leonard, 90 overall, 27 years old, a shutdown superstar X Factor with the ability to shut down. There we go. 3rd ranked left outside linebacker. EJ Speed and Brandon King also in there in the mix. Bobby Ocraki, I used him in quite a few rebuilds. I know he's a very, very good mid linebacker. Jojo Doman, James Skalski are also in the mix. But of course, Ocraki going to be the starter. Right outside linebacker, Zaire Franklin and Sterling Weatherford, absolutely abysmal right outside linebacking choices. We will have to act immediately. Cornerback, Stephon Gilmore, very nice. Kenny Moore II, also very nice. Isaiah Rogers, solid choice. Marvel Tell, and so on. And then we've got quite a few in here, so there's a lot of cutting material here. But we've got two very good, solid first choices. Stephon Gilmore, certainly for the first year, is going to be absolutely excellent at superstar, 31 years old. Then I fear he will be regressing and we will be letting him move on, I think. Free safety, Julian Blackmon. Armani Watts, the backup. And strong safety, finally, Rodney McLeod Jr., a bit on the older side. Nick Cross is the rookie out of Maryland. But with a 69, not yet where I want him to be. But what I wanted to show you is take a look at speed and acceleration. It's just so super high. And that's the core attributes for a strong safety, or basically for a safety. Just be quick, running around the pitch. And if you're strong in the hit, strong in the tackle, then that's even better. And the coverage and all that will come as time passes. But for the moment, this is just a prospect for the future. Do want to hold on to him. He's 20 years old, so a lot of time to progress. The kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship, a very solid one. Jake Verdi behind him. And Rigoberto Sanchez is the punter. What about draft picks? We've got number 16 overall. Then we've got 2 second round picks, one out of Washington. That was the Carson Wentz trade. 3rd rounder for the Carson Wentz trade. Then 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's it, basically. So we will be heading into the draft this year, of course, with a few core positions that we need to fix more or less instantly. I do want to take a look at some players and maybe also let some players go. So what I will be doing now is I will be doing some quick cuts. Then I will be going into the free agents, signing a few free agents just to bolster our squad. There's just a few positions where we absolutely need to improve instantly. Otherwise, we'll have an absolutely hellish season if you look at the squad. Basically, we've got a good halfback. We've got a good left guard. That's about it. Then there's a few good players, decent players in here as well. But for the most part, when you look at the pictures, it's absolutely abysmal. Pretty sad, actually. Defense, on the other hand, is quite solid. This does give me hope. We've got a few positions that we need to fix here as well, but it's not as bad as the offensive line. All right, so first things first, I will be doing quick fixes right now, and then I will be simming the season. This rebuild will just be simming the full season, then we're going to take care of off-season in a compressed form, and so on and so forth, moving along through the seasons. All right, first round of improvements is done. I only brought in 2 players because I didn't want to make it too unrealistic. There are quite a few free agents still in the mix out there, players like Odell Beckham Jr. and so on, but I do want to sort of start realistically here. So I only brought in 2 players. First player I brought in was Colin Gillespie. He's a fullback. I just like having a dedicated fullback. That is all. And I think we just picked up a very serviceable one. He's got good speed, acceleration, and a few other good attributes in there. Just want to have a dedicated player to fill that position. That is that. And then I went for a dedicated, little bit better sort of band-aid situation. Tight end here, Jared Cook will be my starting tight end at 81 overall. He's 35 years old, so he's really only a player for 1 year, not much more than that. All right, here we are, end of the 2022 regular season, and it looks like the Colts had a pretty good season after all. A little bit surprised at that, but we're going to take it, of course. So we've got the Bills, the Lions, and the Buccaneers in preseason. Regular season started out with a win against the Texans, 28-14. A win against the Jaguars, 35-3. Chiefs were beaten 17-14. I can't believe Matty Ice beating Patrick Mahomes here. Titans were beaten 28-24. Broncos were beaten 28-23. Russell Wilson having to accept defeat. The Jags then beat us 14-38 in week 6. Titans were beat again, second time 28-21, even a little bit higher. The Commanders were beaten, so that was the duel. The return for Carson Wentz versus Matty Ice. Let's take a quick look at the stats here. Just a little bit interested here at how many quarterbacks are there on the squads. I hope that they would cut some, but didn't really happen. What was the completion rate? Was 61% versus 57 Carson Wentz. Yeah, I tried playing Carson Wentz in the Snowhawks relocation franchise, but that was just terrible. Absolutely terrible. We had to replace him. Patriots were beaten as well. Then came a little bit of a losing streak against the Raiders and the Eagles. The Steelers were beaten again. Cowboys, we lost against. Bye week happened, 2 losses, and then we closed with 2 wins against the Giants and the Texans again. It was 52-21. What a game. I think we also started against the Texans. So yeah, there we go. We started with the Texans. We ended with the Texans. The end score was 11-6. I'm actually pretty amazed at how well we did here. We're going to take a look at the roster after we do the quick player upgrade, of course. I'm always going to be doing that in bulk here in these rebuilds. In the franchise, I do take my time with that, but not here. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket. Where do we stand? We, of course, are in the wild card against the Broncos. All right, so that is interesting. This side of the division certainly quite exciting. The Ravens are through, the Cowboys are through. That is not even a surprise because the Cowboys are mostly sitting there almost each and every year that I play. And yeah, we're going to be playing against the Broncos. I will, of course, be simming that as well. Before I do that, let me take a look at our roster. Obviously, something worked here, so I'm going to take it. I see no development trait changes. Of course, players went up. Kekekuti is fit again and is wide receiver number 2. Paris Campbell is not fit. He's going to be injured for 1 more week. On defense, how are things looking? Actually, pretty good. Yeah. No, everybody seems to be fit. I see no problems here. We do still have the issue at right outside linebacker, of course. We've got the strong safety that could be a little bit better, but overall, we're actually not looking too bad. So we're going to take that as it is. We will, of course, now also improve the staff. I will be doing this sort of off screen because it's not really that exciting. First of all, I'll upgrade the defense, and then I will be upgrading the offense, and then I will be upgrading the coach, the main coach. All right, that's that. With that, I will be simming each week now, so see you next week. All right, we are in the next week. Let's take a look in the playoff bracket. Did we make it? Yes, we did. All right, we beat the Denver Broncos 24-14. Now we're going to be facing the Miami Dolphins. This is a little bit emotional for me because they are my franchise team. We picked up a new injury. Let's take a quick look here. Who is injured? Jared Cook, our starting tight end, is injured. he is out for 3 weeks. That is not great, because I do think that he was an integral part in getting there. Let's upgrade the players before heading into next week. Off we go. All right, seems like we hit the end of the road here. We lost the game against the Miami Dolphins, 29-26. Looked to be a super tight game. The pass yards were far more on our side. The rushing, no, vice versa. The rushing was ours again, but the passing wasn't great. This is, I think this is down to we need a better wide receiving core, and we also need improvements, of course, at the quarterback position. We lost against the combined powers of Teddy Bridgewater and Tua Tagovailoa. Matty Ryan actually not doing too bad, but 65% completion rate, actually not that bad. But to be honest, I was actually a bit surprised that we made it into the playoffs straight away. I'm gonna take it, not gonna think too much about that. But for now, we will be just moving ahead. Contract has been extended, and we're gonna be moving through the weeks now to the off season. 2022 season recap time. Let's take a look here. The Super Bowl was played between the Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs coming out on top. Patrick Mahomes picking up the Super Bowl MVP, of course. The yearly awards went to quarterback Josh Allen for the Bills, Coach of the Year for the Cowboys Mike McCarthy, finally not Urban Meyer, because in 2022 it was always Urban Meyer. Cooper Kupp Player of the Year for the Rams, Offensive Player, Defensive Player for the Bills Von Miller. Offensive Rookie was Jameson Williams for the Lions, and Brian Cook, Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Chiefs. We have 40 staff points. We will be spending these later on. I will also be upgrading the players later on. There's not really much to do now in staff week, so I will be heading into next week, where we will be deciding upon the fate of re-signing players. We're in player negotiations now. We've got quite a few critical players that we need to convince to stay with us. We've got Quentin Nelson, who I certainly want to keep. We've got Yannick Ngakoue, who I certainly want to keep. Bobby Ocraki. We've got Paris Campbell, who is not my first choice, but I do think he's a good backup wide receiver to have. Keke Kuti, same thing. Ashton Doolin, not really convinced. Then we've got Matt Pryor. Don't think of that. I will be keeping him around. Tyson Williams, same thing. EJ Speed, same thing. Jason Spriggs, same thing. Jared Cook, I think he did well. He might be a good backup tight end, but if you look at his overall, he has regressed so hard from 81 down to 73 at 36. I don't think that I will be even offering him something, because he's just not worth it. He was brought into the team as a band-aid. I think he did well, but now it's not the time to renegotiate. Here, Colin Gillespie, same thing. He was a band-aid fullback. I'm gonna be able to find a fullback in free agency, no problem. But for now, we will have to take a look at which players we will be re-signing. For me, it's the first three on the these two on the defensive side, and Quentin Nelson on offense, of course. All right, Quentin Nelson has re-signed. That is positive. That is good. Yannick Ngakoue, next one here. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to go with player-friendly offers here, because I do think that they're important players, and if I lowball them, we might lose them. I mean, at age 28, let's take a look here. Maybe we'll go with the neutral offer. However, I don't want to keep him around. I think he will be important for us. And finally, Bobby Ocraki. Now, this is a critical one, because he is 83 overall, but has a superstar dev trait. He did go up, I think. I don't want to lose this player. Don't even want to risk it. So I'm going to give him a 6 mil offer here. 5 years deal. He is 27. Let's see if we can't get that done. Oh, okay, that's a surprise. Bobby Ocraki is going to test out free agency. Let me see what the franchise tag would be to a 1 year, 17.7 salary contract. He's 27 years old. If I franchise tag him for a year, I think we'll have to go the rebuilding route. I think it's a bit too expensive. We've got a salary cap room of 29 mil. If I give him that, yeah, I think that's too expensive. What about Paris Campbell, Keke Kuti? I think I will try to bring back Keke Kuti. Gonna give him a 4-year deal. There we go. Going to test our free agency. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ashton Doolin. No, don't need these. What about Paris Campbell? Was he that bad for us? Not quite sure. We're gonna give him, I think, the 3-year deal. Just gonna bump it up a little bit. Okay, free agency. All right, so that works for me, actually. I'm not going to franchise tag anybody here. We did resign Quentin Nelson. That was super important for me and Yannick Ngakoue. All right, the free agency has been reshuffled a little bit. It seems to be working different. You can only hand out 5 active negotiations, so the days of just slamming out offers left, right, and center are gone. You have to focus on the positions that you really want to improve. And then there's this evaluation period where it's 0 out of 3. So basically it takes 3 rounds to, for the guys to evaluate the offers. I decided to try to improve our wide receiving room. I went for Juju Smith-Schuster, who of course is a free agent. Top offer is ours. The Commanders are also in the bidding war. Deontay Harty is also another younger player that I want to bring into the mix. Left guard, I want to bring in David Edwards, not for the left guard position, but for the right guard. So I would be switching him over straight away. I do think that that is a position that we should improve. And finally, I've got Chris Barnes lined up for mid linebacker because we do need quite the improvement at that position. Apart from that, not much more I can do because my cap room, top right corner, is at 780k. I don't even want to know who's costing me that much money, but we will be clearing up cap space as well now. Matt Ryan, he has regressed quite roughly. I have no intention of keeping him around. I want to replace him. I don't even want to keep him around as a backup or whatever because it's just not worth it. So I will hit get offers and I will just see what will happen here. This is a new feature that's really brilliant. If you want to just get rid of a player, get him going soon, then this is the place to go. You will get more or less equivalent players with sometimes equivalent draft pick offers. So you can see we get 7th round picks, which is not great, but it's also not terrible. We're getting offered 2 centers, one from the Bears, one from the Bengals. We're getting offered a right guard, which is actually not that bad for us because I do think we need improvement at that position. We're also getting offered a left guard. I do think I will be going for a center here. One of these two should be good. Gotta go with Lucas Patrick and the pick number 199. I do think that should help us, and some more draft picks can't really hurt. Next up, we're taking a look who we would get for Ryan Kelly, who also is a little bit on the heavy side for the cap space, and there's quite a few interesting offers here. Of course, edge rushers, some wide receivers, but one that caught my eye was Orafe Owe at right outside linebacker. That is a position that we direly need. We need to improve that, and I think I will be going for Orafe Owe just to improve the defense a bit more. Be on the safe side there, although I would be sacrificing a very, very good center, but he's 30 years old, might be regressing at some point in time, so maybe we can get someone better into the team. Let's take a look to improve the defense first, and then we're gonna focus on the offense. So we have signed JC Treader, we've signed Juju Smith-Schuster, which is awesome. We signed Deontay Harty, David Edwards, Alec Ingold, and Chris Barnes. And I think with that, I'm gonna call the free agency window completed for me now. First round pick was Anthony Richardson, Florida Gator quarterback, 67 overall hidden depth trait. And he does have pretty great throw power, pretty amazing, good break sack, seems to be very mobile, is a scrambler type of a quarterback. Why did I go for him? Well, first of all, he was pretty high up on the board. Not many quarterbacks left in the first round. Second of all, he's been linked with the Indianapolis Colts in real life as well. So no surprise there. Want to maintain a certain degree of realism here. Second round pick, right outside linebacker Nolan Smith, 69 overall, a rookie out of Georgia. Normal, depth trait, speed, acceleration, pursuit are the main strengths here. Of course, Derek Hall is a rookie out of Auburn, 71 overall. He's going to be a backup, of course, but I think we can develop him into something nice in the future. Next up, Andrey Carter Jr., 65 overall, normal, depth trait, rookie out of the Army, left outside linebacker position. That's where we needed a bit more depth. So we've got right outside, left outside linebacker, and then we brought in 2 tackles. Those were direly needed. Robert Scott Jr., rookie out of Florida State. He's got good strength and a few of the core attributes that we will be able to develop further. The normal depth trait might slow that down a little bit, but we're not going to be too bothered about that. Tavarius Hadley, a rookie out of North Carolina, 65 overall, speed, acceleration are there. Apart from that, a lot of development still ahead of us, but we needed a bit more depth and a backup. Stetson Baldwin, also a tackle. One of these I will be reverting to a right tackle. So yeah, just to have depth at both positions. In theory, in practice, it will mean that the players will be playing all the offensive positions anyways that they're capable of. Then we brought in Taulia Tagovailoa, that's the brother of Tua. He's out of Maryland, of course, age 21, hidden depth trait, which I find pretty funny. 61 overall, throw power is good, short accuracy is also quite good. Yeah, I just wanted to see what he's like. We're going to see if we can develop him forward, maybe trade him someday. And of course, we needed a kicker. Adam Mann, a rookie out of Florida State, 66 overall. He's got good kick power, quite good kick accuracy, and acceleration is also quite okay. So apart from that, not much more to add. We just needed a kicker. Maybe we can develop him. Maybe we'll pick up another kicker in free agency. But for the moment, those are the players that we're going to be going with. Feast your eyes upon the team that we will be heading into the 2023 season with. The offensive line has not changed too much. JC Treader, of course, is fit again, so that is, of course, I'm super happy about that. Don't know how he healed 16 weeks of an injury in the shorter time, but that's JC Treader for you. 85 overall, very solid centerpiece right there. We've got Quentin Nelson, David Edwards left and right at the guard positions, and then we've got Ryman at tackle, and we've got Smith at tackle. The tight end position is going to be filled by Jelani Woods, who was drafted in 2022. We've got Granson, and then we've got Ogletree. We're going to let these three right there. I want to see how they develop, to be honest. I want to see what they can do. In simulation, it's always a bit more different than if you're really playing the games. If I would be playing the games, these would be absolutely horrendous. But yeah, in simulation, sometimes works quite nicely. The wide receiving core, I really like the look of it right now. We've got Smith Schuster, we've got Pittman Jr., we've got Hardy. Young wide receivers that will be improving over time. I'm very happy about this. We've got a very solid halfback core with Taylor, with Hines. We've got Verdell, and we've got Price, who seem to be developmental prospects back there. We've got Anthony Richardson as our starting franchise QB. Ellinger behind him, then Tagovailoa, who I will be pushing up a little bit. I want to reveal the depth traits as quickly as possible. Alec Ingold is our fullback, picked up in free agency, of course. On defense, we've plugged all the major problems. We've got a very solid free safety with Julian Blackmon. We added a little bit of safety backup for the free safety position in the draft. We've got Owe out of a trade at right outside linebacker. We've got Chris Barnes at mid linebacker. We've got Darius Leonard at the left outside linebacker position. We added depth at at every position that we could add. We've got Nick Cross here, who is my starting strong safety. Would like to improve him a little bit over the season. He is still quite young, still 21 years old, out of Maryland, and really liking the look of him. So I think I said that before. I'm going to keep him around, of course. On defense, otherwise, we've got Stephon Gilmore. We've got Moore, the second, at the cornerback positions. We've got good edges. We've got good D tackles. I'm actually pretty happy. Come the end of the season, we might have to say goodbye to one or two players that are getting on the older side if we want to keep the improvements going. But for the moment, I think that we're very well set here. With the 85 defense, 84 offense, and 84 overall. Right, we're here at the end of the 2023 regular season, and upon looking at the screen I was thinking, oh my god, we didn't make the playoffs, but then it hit me that we actually did. Because we had a fantastic season. 13-4 was the result. A win against the Texans, that's our starting game, and a win straight away. The Chargers, the Panthers were lost. All right, we're going to chalk that off. And then we had a winning streak. Browns, Titans, Steelers, Jaguars. Then against the 49ers, the Texans, again, the Titans we lost. Then it was bye week, Falcons was a win, Jaguars, Bengals, Saints, the Dolphins, all were won. The Ravens was a loss, but then the Buccaneers, towards the end of the season, again a win. And I think we can be very happy with that. Postseason, we have a bye week to deal with now. And then we will be playing whoever proceeds past the wildcard round. I have to say I am actually quite amazed, to be honest, because didn't really expect that. We still have a developmental quarterback. We still haven't really completed as much with the roster, looking at changes and so on and so forth. I did upgrade the players now. If you take a look at the squad, it has gone up to an 88 overall. Our key wide receivers, Pittman Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, have gone up to the high 80s or 90s now. We've got Deontay Harty, we've got Alec Pierce, and so on. All the players have gone up. The offensive line has improved. We've got a very solid central part here in the offensive line. And the outside the tackles, the right tackle is very, very good. Bernard Ryman on the left-hand side, grinning there. Yeah, same thing basically. He's quite solid despite his low overall. We have revealed Anthony Richardson is a start-F trade, 22 years old, and just look at those attributes that have all gone up. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually pretty happy with this. Super happy at the result that we were able to get here with this drafted quarterback. Apart from that, Jelani Woods also went up. I would like to see him also get a start-F trade at some point in time, just as an improvement for his development. The defense is rock solid, as always, but now we're a solid 88 across the board, and I think we can be very, very happy with that. It's a very tough team, actually, and I'm pretty confident that we should be able to get at least one round further than we did last time. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Gonna forward now towards the next week, and then we're gonna see where we end up. Right, 1 week further, we are gonna play the Kansas City Chiefs, which is actually probably the toughest matchup. But then again, looking at the other side, we've got the Ravens versus the Bills. There's no easy teams in the playoffs anymore. Every team can beat you, and every team can be a challenging competitor. So yeah, not much really more to add here. Apart from the Chiefs beat the Raiders to proceed to the divisional playoff round, we will have to try our mettle against Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City Chiefs team further in the playoffs, and we have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. Could this have been a more tightly contested game? I don't think so. The offensive yards were so close. There's only 8 yards in between. The offensive rush yards were very, very clearly on our side. The pass yards, Patrick Mahomes was doing his thing. Now the first downs, the punt return yards, all of the yards counted together. We came out a little bit short, but we won the game, and that is what counts. Super Bowl Sunday, and the Indianapolis Colts are in the Super Bowl in the second year of the rebuild. We have beaten the Baltimore Ravens 42-35. Again, tightly contested game, but this time round, just look at the offensive yards. 521 offensive yards gained. We were absolutely dominant on the rushing side, and on the passing side, we weren't far behind either. Taking into account all of the other things together, it was still a pretty clear-cut affair. I have to say, not from the score, but from the yardage, that just looks to be pretty clear. Looking at The quarterback ratings, we've got Lamar Jackson, of course, 297 yards. We've got Anthony Richardson, 254 yards. For some reason, Sam Ehlinger played a few snaps. I do hope that Anthony Richardson hasn't injured himself, because that would be absolutely deadly ahead of the Super Bowl. 72% completion rate. He is getting better and better. I'm very, very happy with this quarterback. On the rushing side, same thing, same picture as always. Jonathan Taylor, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nyheim Hines, also a touchdown. Then it's J.K. Dobbins. Then it's Anthony Richardson, who's the scrambler type, so I'm not really surprised that he's also getting yards. Lamar Jackson is there, C.J. Verdell, and so on. On the receiving side, of course, Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman. The passing side is a bit stronger in the other teams. We are very strong on the rushing side, but we're also getting better on the passing side of things. Michael Pittman Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Harty, and Jelani Woods are all in the mix here, totaling to plus or minus 200 yards in total. Only 1 touchdown for Jelani Woods here, but then Mark Andrews, Scotty Miller, and so on and so forth. So again, the receiving side, I like it that it's not only one player that's carrying the team, but that more or less more players are chipping in here. How about the tackles leader? That's Chuck Clark, but he's tied with Chris Barnes. Super happy that we brought him in. Tackles for loss, 2 for Michael Pierce, 1 for Chris Barnes. Then it's Tyquan Lewis, Dalen Hayes, DeForest Buckner, Odafe Oweh, Julian Okwara, just looking pretty impressive here. Michael Pierce, as always, a beast. DeForest Buckner in there. Darius Leonard, Chris Barnes didn't get in on the sacks. And no interceptions, because the QBs seemed to have been very good. And that leads us to the Super Bowl now. I will be taking a quick look at the squad that we're facing here, because I am interested in the setup of the Cowboys. They're not far away, which is why I'm not going to be cutting this. We've got Dak Prescott, of course, superstar X Factor. Quarterback Nathan Dobson, Jesus Christ, 22 years old and already a superstar death trait. Nathan Dobson, wow, a rookie with a superstar death trait. Halfback is Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is the running back. Devon Arcade, a rookie. He is a hidden death trait. Wow, they really drafted quite well here. Jaquan Hardy is also in the mix here. Fullback Nick Ralston. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, James Washington. So the receivers definitely a little bit higher rated than ours. Tight end Dalton Schultz, for sure higher rated than our tight end room. Tyron Smith is the left tackle with a 97 overall. Tyler Smith at guard. Tyler Biadas, 25 years old, 80 overall at center. Zach Martin with a 99 overall and a superstar at right guard. Jawan James, 74, the first really weak player on that offensive line. Left edge is DeMarcus Lawrence, 94 overall. Akeem Hicks, right edge. D-tackle Neville Gallimore and Osa Odigizua. Left outside linebacker DJ Wanham. Mid linebacker Leighton Vander Esch and Jabril Cox. Right outside linebacker Micah Parsons, unstoppable force. He's a superstar X Factor. I wonder if he's the best right outside. Yeah, he's the best right outside linebacker in the game. Cornerback Trevon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, Kelvin Joseph. Such a solid and very good cornerback room. Free safety is Malik Hooker, Deontay Thompson. Behind him, strong safety Jaron Kersey and Jaquaz Moorhead. Kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, who seemed to have gone there after, I don't know, dropping out of the contract with us. I didn't seem to notice him. Maybe I missed him in the contract section, but yeah, he dropped out from us. And punter is Brian Anger. So we are facing an extremely tough team here. Analysis of the superstar X Factors and the superstars in this Super Bowl game now. We've got Jonathan Taylor, our halfback. He's been absolutely elite this season. Zeke Elliott, same thing on the other side, also an elite running back. Micah Parsons, right outside linebacker. Superstar X Factor. Darius Leonard, left outside linebacker, superstar X-Factor, DeForest Buckner, D-tackle, and Dak Prescott, the opposing quarterback. Superstars are left guard Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin for the Cowboys, Tyron Smith, left tackle for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver for the Cowboys, DeMarcus Lawrence, defensive end for the Cowboys, and Stephon Diggs, cornerback, also for the Cowboys. Now there's two for us, Stephon Gilmore and Juju Smith-Schuster. And finally, Nathan Dobson, the backup QB for the Cowboys, so they're thoroughly set for the future. All right, this will be the game footage for the Super Bowl between the Dallas Cowboys and the Indianapolis Colts. The Cowboys sporting their home uniforms, the Colts their nice blue jerseys. I really like the Super Bowl stitching on the jerseys here. I think that EA really did a good job with those minor cosmetic improvements. A lot of people hating on Madden 23. I don't really get it, but I still think it's a great game. Could it be way better? Could it be way more in-depth? Of course, it always could be. But as it is, I think it's a pretty nice one. They really did well. The teams entering here, Anthony Richardson, our QB. And yeah, we'll be cutting the intro short here because I do want to see the simulation just get going. All right, there we go. I just switched that on so that I get the option to go here. We're going to jump forward towards the next quarter. We're going to let that sim, of course. Indy on the board, 7-0, 10-0 versus the Dallas Cowboys. And we head into the second quarter here with a lead of 10-7. All right, 17-7. It's going back and forth here. 24-14. Seems to be a loss here, 17-24. The Cowboys are catching up here. We're going to see how the third quarter plays out as we do have a little bit back and forth. Nothing happening in the third quarter. What was that? Let us take a look now. I think I'll let the final quarter play out in normal speed just to get a little bit better feeling for what's happening here. We can see all of those colors aligning a little bit better so that we can get a better feel for what's happening on the pitch here. Seems to be a sack here by Forrest Buckner, 3rd and 15, 6-yard reception by Dalton Schultz. Seems to be like the Cowboys have to go for a field goal. It's 20-24. We still have the lead, but only by the narrowest of margins here. Isaiah Rodgers with quite the return towards the 25. 2nd and 10, 6-yard reception by Michael Pittman Jr. Jelani Woods, and it's another first and 10, 5 yards penalty against the offense, 15-yard reception by Michael Pittman Jr. And the Colts just keep on moving. 10-yard rush by Taylor, 8-yard rush by Taylor, 2nd and 2. Ooh, that's a penalty caused by J.C. Treader, 15-yard reception, Michael Pittman Jr. We get the first down, 2nd and 2, 8-yard reception by Hardy here, 3rd and 5. That's an incomplete pass. 4th and 5, a 36-yard field goal, 27-20. We do have sort of enough space to compensate for a touchdown here, but can we hold them? That is the big question, because they can go for a 2-point conversion, win the game by 1 point. That would hurt quite a bit, to be honest. 3rd and 1, incomplete pass here by Dak Prescott. 4th and 1, they're going to go. Ooh, that is interesting. It's a turnover here at the 40-yard line. 2nd and 7, 2-yard rush, Jonathan Taylor. It seems to be a rough going 10-yard rush here, Jonathan Taylor. Jesus Christ, well done. 1st and 10. Anthony Richardson takes a knee here. 2nd and 11, 1 minute to play. 3rd and 12, another knee here. 4th and 13, and that is a field goal converted by Adam Mann, the rookie. We are 30 and 10, and unless something crazy happens, we are gonna win this game. 14-yard reception here. The Cowboys again moving ahead. 2nd and 10 with 33 seconds to go. 3rd and 4. Dak Prescott pushing his team forward. James Washington for a 7-yard reception. 1st and 10, 17-yard reception. James Washington, what a good pass. But I think with this reception, the game is over, and the Indianapolis Colts have won the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys with a rookie quarterback, with a rookie kicker, with a team that is in the second year of its rebuild. Really digging the uniforms here. I really like the animation here. If you take a close look, the confetti is shaped like the trophy here. And I think we all know who did their job here. Here is the Lombardi Trophy. Of course, all the players looking at it, want to touch it, of course. Is that David Edwards with the number 73? But the quarterback, Anthony Richardson, of course, receiving the Lombardi Trophy, cradling it in his arms. Gonna cut the video here. Don't want to get demonetized for some weird reason for showing this animation, because I have to say Anthony Richardson was absolutely stellar. I don't know if the stats really reflect that. Completion rate of 68%. He was better than Dak Prescott. Where did the winning drives come from? Jonathan Taylor did well, 2 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, of course, as well. Dak Prescott was rushing as well. The receiving side, of course, Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott. This pairing is really quite tough to beat. But Michael Pittman Jr., Jelani Woods really stepped up. He's a tight end in his second year. James Washington, CeeDee Lamb, then Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Hardy. Absolutely fantastic. But the defense, Chris Barnes with 12 tackles in total. I mean, that is absolutely insane. We've got tackles for loss by DeForest Buckner, Yannick Ngakoue, who we did resign, and Kenny Moore the second. We've got, went too far. I want to take a look at the sacks. Of course, DeForest Buckner, 1.5 sacks. Darius Leonard, 1 sack. Kenny Moore the second, half a sack. Isaiah Rodgers with half a sack, and Chris Barnes also half a sack. I mean, this is the reason. And I know why they say that offense wins games, but defense wins championships. It was so important for them to hold the opposing team. And Adam Mann really stepped up, did so well. Field goals 3, field goal attempts 3. That's 100% field goal percentage here for the rookie kicker. And I really couldn't be happier. All right, time for a season recap, of course. We know that the 5 times AFC champion, the Colts, won against the Cowboys. The Super Bowl MVP, of course, our running back, Jonathan Taylor, couldn't have been any different. The player of the year, of course, Dak Prescott, because he's just, I think he got way more yards in comparison to us. That is quite uncontested, to be honest. Arthur Smith was the coach of the year for the Falcons. Offensive player was Derrick Henry for the Titans. For the second time in a row, Von Miller, defensive player of the year for the Bills. Offensive rookie for the Seahawks, CJ Stroud. Interesting that the Seahawks went for CJ Stroud in the draft. The Panthers went for Will Anderson Jr. And this is basically the outcome, the defensive rookie of the year. I have to say that this does come as a bit of a surprise to me. I am happy about this. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've got Dak Prescott and Joseph at corner, who were the NFC players, but I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor at halfback and Kenny Moore with 7 tackles, 1 interception as the defensive player for the AFC. I personally would have put Chris Barnes there because he got an insane 12 tackles. I mean, in one game, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm going to take it. Taking a look at the journey here, I mean, preseason, let's just scrap that. I think the regular season is really where it's at. All those wins means that the players were steadily getting improvements, getting better and better and better. This is a little bit where we're dumping right now with the Miami Dolphins franchise. It's just so tough when the downward spiral starts going, and you just really can't get going, can't really improve the players. Progress is slow, experience is slow, and then things just really grind to a halt. But in postseason, it was such a delight here. Versus the Chiefs, versus the Ravens, it says 0 because I just simulated those. And then versus the Cowboys, which we sort of played simulated, but you know, you were there, so you know what I mean. That was just fantastic. A fantastic performance. And I'm actually pretty amazed at how well we did here. Didn't really expect that. Let's take a quick look at our lineup. and where we stand at the moment with this roster after winning the Super Bowl. All of the players did improve a little bit since the beginning of the offseason, but it doesn't really count that much. I'm looking at Anthony Richardson here. He's 23 years old, 80 overall, star def trait. His ratings have just gone up so much in comparison to when we drafted him. Taking a look at his stats, he had 4,822 passing yards, 43 touchdown passes, 23 interceptions, all right. But 70% completion rate at the far right of this statistic. He will only get better, and that's his rookie season. I mean, I'm going to take a look at what CJ Stroud did, because he must have been absolutely insane. But yeah, he did well over the course of his rookie season, and he's going to be with us for quite some time. What I would do here, if I were to continue this series here, is I would try to get him to be a scheme fit so that it would be easier to re-sign him. Currently, we've got a lot of minus here. Mentor out of the position, maybe sign an older QB who would be a mentor. Close to home, well, we can't really offer him that. In Indianapolis, we would be able to offer him that if we were in Miami, of course. So that's always things to consider, especially when going for the relocation franchise runs here. On defense, things are looking especially well. I do see one small gripe, which is that Stephon Gilmore went down in the depth trade here, but then again, I can't really put my finger on that, on why, because he seemed to have a good season actually, and now with the Super Bowl win, I mean, let's be honest, he should be actually way better here, should be way higher. But of course, this is down to his age. He still is a fantastic cornerback, but nevertheless, cornerback and maybe the D-tackle position with aging Stewart. These would be positions that I would be looking at to maybe improve heading into a new season. But yeah, as it stands, I mean, we're at the beginning of off-season, time to renegotiate with players. I do want to take a look at who would be up for renegotiation, right? We do have quite a bit of cap space, but there's a lot of players that we have to keep in the team. So let us take a look. Could we re-sign some of these without really ruining everything here? We're gonna re-sign Jonathan Taylor here. Let's make him an offer. All right, next season will be great. This means that our running game will be awesome. Stephon Gilmore, I'll have to think about that. Kenny Moore the second. I think he's an important part of the team. He's super motivated. Let's lock down Michael Pittman Jr. He is our best wide receiver, and I definitely want to keep him around. He is motivated as well, so that is fantastic. Grover Stewart actually is not motivated. Julian Blackmon, I want to keep him around. I mean, that is a given. Gonna make this 5 years. Appreciate the offer. All right, that is interesting. So we need a new free safety. Rigoberto Sanchez, our punter. Let's see who else is down here. Danny Pinter, right guard. Lucas Patrick. Yeah, these are backups. Not really too bothered with them. We can get similar players in no time in free agency. The punter here, what do we do with him? He's 29 years old. I mean, I'm gonna give him just a super long contract. Just lock him down, not think about him anymore. Kenny Moore the second, cornerback. I do think that I want to keep him around. On the other hand, if I give him a very friendly contract here, this means that I will not be able to go after other players. All right, but we've signed him. Grover Stewart is a player that I'm quite unsure. He's 30, 83, so he's regressing. What about Julian Blackmon? How much would he be if we franchise tagged him? Do we want to do that? Or do we re-sign him in free agency? Stephon Gilmore, as much as I appreciate him, I think I will let him go. Although, is he expensive? Well, actually he is. He's quite expensive, 10 mil. Now, we're not going to be resigning him. I think I'm going to leave it at that. and I think we can risk heading into the free agency with 37 mil cap space. All right, that is actually super, super great. We signed all of our targets. We signed Jedrick Wills Jr., we signed Bryce Hall, and we signed Javon Kinlaw. And with that, we have plugged the largest holes in our roster. Time for a quick draft recap now. We signed strong safety Deontay Harrison in the first round. You might be saying, well, what's up with him? We needed a free safety, not a strong safety, but this is what I'm going to do right now. Just wanted to do it with you so that nobody's confused what's going on here. I will be switching Deontay Harrison to a free safety now. He's a 72 right now. It was a sort of a best on board situation. Was another free safety there, but he was way lower ranked. I like the speed, the acceleration. He's got super high hip power. He's an absolute beast when he gets in contact. Pursuit is high, so I think he will be doing very well at that position. 21 years old, lots of time to get better. Second player picked, second round, was Amir Dupree, mid linebacker, hidden theft trait out of Auburn. He looks to be quite nice. 66 overall, still development, of course, but with that hidden depth trait, who knows how high we can go. Zach Charles, third round pick, normal depth trait, a halfback. Just want to bolster the room. I was looking, maybe we can get in a nice additional player there. Right guard, Kiri Clancy, 22 years old, out of Boise State, 69 overall, high strength, lead block, impact block was very, very good. This is a normal depth trait, so again, not expecting too much. Josh Riley is also another pick, 24 years old, was a bit unsure. I think he will be one for the practice squad, despite having super high strength, which I like. And the lead block, impact block is also quite high, so that is positive. We then have Virgil Bullock, the brother of Sandra Bullock, of course. He's got a hidden depth trait, 66 overall, rookie out of Penn State. I really like his ratings. Speed, acceleration, agility, and jumping are there. And finally, we have a few more picks. Those were 7th rounders that I just went for to just get new players and maybe lucky punches there. Joe Bethel, Marcus Pleasant, Cassius Marrow, Rashawn Stevenson. I got all of these 7th round picks from lower ranked players that I traded away, and from the last draft where I traded away 2 draft picks that I wasn't really needing anymore. Here we are now, first week of preseason in the 2024 season. We're going to take a look at the roster that will be heading into this season. We're going to just click this button quickly, and there we go. If I were playing the games myself, I would be taking care of the depth chart manually, but like this, I think this works faster. All right, nothing much changed in comparison to before the draft on the offensive side. On the defense, we do have a new player here. This is Harrison, 72 rated, 21-year-old rookie out of Virginia Tech with the high speed, acceleration, hip power, and pursuit. I'm actually quite happy with this. We now have a super solid defense all around. The safeties are quick, which is the most important aspect of their skill set. But apart from that, really super solid. The offense is now at an 89. The defense went down a little bit, of course, because we lost higher rated players through regression or through other issues like players leaving us, not re-signing for us. Of course, the free safety is now a little bit lower ranked. Also, the cornerback 2 is lower ranked, but I'm not really too bothered by that, if I have to be honest. I think this team is super solid. I think they can go and have another fantastic season again. I will be ending the rebuild here now because basically we've done everything we wanted to do. We won the Super Bowl in the second season. This is the end of those quick and dirty rebuilds. I went a little bit farther and sort of prepared the team for the future. Just interesting to keep the team in a good position, and also feels a little bit better. So that it's realistic that they won't have a drop-off season immediately afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this rebuild. Once again, it was a 50 subscriber special. Super grateful for each and every one of you, especially for those that comment regularly. I really enjoy that. And hope you enjoyed it. Gonna be doing some more as time goes by, focusing on the Miami Dolphins franchise and doing rebuilds of teams I haven't covered yet from time to time. And yeah, if you liked it, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to me. And as always, thank you for watching, and see you next time.